So I'm using the new Marview Cheetah Le Pen Flex brush. And I wanted to talk a little bit about how I approach brush lettering. So one of the first things I tend to do when I'm approaching a new tool is I run through some technical issues on how the tool works. So the first thing I do is I hold the tool vertically and I aim to test what the tool can do. So just a couple straight vertical lines just to see what the integrity of the tip is. And I'm turning the tip a little bit, so I've just realized that that gives the sharpest line. So that shows, if I find that a part of the nib has a sharper aspect, I'll turn the cap so I know exactly where that sharp tip is. Next, I'm going to go from a vertical to a slight tilt. Notice I'm not pressing on the tool, and I'm flattening it a little bit more. So I'd like to get, oh, there we go. So I'm just checking to see what the range of widths are without pressing. Now, most people would press and get that line, but I don't want to press. I want to change, I want to get the width of the line based on the angle of the tool. Because these pens are generally work best when you use a combination of angle and pressure. And if you use just pressure, you're going to destroy the tip and the tool's not going to last as long. So once we've done these, I can figure out, okay, so the next line is a combination of both angle and pressure. So let's start here. So there's a little bit of pressure on the tip. I'm not pressing really hard. And we can go fast, or we can go medium, or we can go slow. Of course, that gives you 3 different shapes. You also get a little bit of entasis. So entasis is when you have a narrowing in the middle. So we also call this wasting. So the next thing is to work out what kind of letters you're trying to do. So most people would use these tools like this, which I always find really funny because, I mean, not funny haha, but funny sort of shocked. The letters are really rough. Now, when you're using your fingers, there is a tendency to get rough shapes. So by balancing the fingers with a whole arm movement, you get much smoother shapes. So just gonna zoom in there just a little bit. So you can see those 2 shapes there. The lines on these are much smoother. So the next thing I do is I work out which script I'm going to work with. So I would, first off, I generally work upright because I'm testing the tool. I want to see what the tool can do. So let's do some straight lines. I N M U V W. So I don't know if you noticed, press, tilt. So I get I'm moving from the side to the tip. So I'm using 2 parts of the nib rather than pressing and damaging the tool. And so to go from this and round this off, we get a different shape of letter. So let's go to A, O, C, and E. And then we have So, you know, here we have constant pressure and here we have variable pressure. So I'm really sort of, you know, exploring what the tool can do. And you know, I'm really being conscious of how much I can press, how much I can release. Is it consistent? Does this look like that? Does it feel like that? So it's not just about how it looks, but about how it feels. Generally, I work in groups, so we have INMUVW. I generally go LTJHY after that, and then OCE, AOCE, and then DGQ, and then the rest of the alphabet. So, you know, in my mind, I know what I'm doing. I'm testing the straight strokes first, then I'm testing the curved strokes, or the bold-based letters. So short minim letters, then, you know, long minim letters, and then bold-based letters. And then I move on to the alphabet. So let's see how this alphabet works with this tool. I'm also being conscious of, so I'm using my own grid, which some of these grids are available on the pscribe.us site under supporting materials. We have some more grids to add. They'll be up soon enough. And the concerted practice study group, which is still open to people, you're more than welcome to join it. Remember, you do have to purchase a PDF, which will release at the beginning of, in the middle of June. Sorry, I've actually been quite ill, so I haven't really had a chance to finish up that PDF, but we're getting there with it. And of course, you can join the PA-Scribe calligraphy classes group if you're interested in general calligraphy writing. So always skip a descender line so it doesn't interact with your ascender line, and then you have your X height. A lot of people work right next to each other with the line down. This is not enough space to correct the work, so do give yourself the space. So we have, so I didn't like how that felt. So I'm just feeling my way with the nib. And so I've moved my hand from this position to this position. And the difference here is that angle. So that angle happened on the P and it happened on the Q, so that feels nicer. So always move the tool around just a little bit. Thank you.